So here is the notes for system of linear equations in three variables. We are basically going to focus just on elimination. You can do these with substitution as well. Sometimes they get very, very, very ugly. So let's just focus on elimination and little adjustments that come from elimination. So the steps in your book are super, super long, the way they write them out. I took those ones and I gave you the Mr. Thomas real world, um, cut out the fluff. This is what you got to do. All right. So here's the 3-step process. So, step one, you reduce your system to 2 equations and 2 variables by using elimination. And what we're going to do, we're going to use equations 1 and 2 to get equation 4. We're going to use 2 and 3 to get equation 5. Then we're going to solve the 2 new equations using elimination or substitution to find your first 2 variables. So after 1's done, we're going to have 2 equations that are 2 equations, 2 variables. And then we can solve a 2 and 2. We can do that anytime using elimination substitution, just like we did yesterday or the last class. And then after you find 2 of them, then you just take that third one and you plug it back into one of the originals. All right. Give you a minute to get those written down, and then we'll get after it with this first problem. All right, here we go. So, number 1, we have 3 equations here. Okay. The first biggest mistake I see on 3 equations, 3 variable problems is we don't copy the problem down correctly. I'm telling you, it happens all the time. You write this down, you write 5x minus 2y plus 4z equals 3. All of a sudden, you're getting an answer like negative 187 over 36. It doesn't work out well. So first off, just make sure you take your time to write them down quick first. So I'm going to number these equations 1, 2, and 3. I think it really helps out. Then I'm going to take equation 1 and 2 to get 5, and then I'm going to take 2 equations 2 and 3 to get my second set of them. All right, so I'm going to copy down 1 over here. I have 5x minus 2y minus 4z equals 3, and 3x plus 3y plus 2z equals negative 3. So I want to use elimination on those 2 sets of, or that set of equations I have right there. Looking at that, 5 and 3 aren't factors of each other. 2 and 3 aren't factors of each other for y. But I'm looking at the z term. I can multiply the second equation by 2, and that's going to cancel out my z's. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to multiply the second equation by 2. That's going to give me 6x plus 6y plus 4z equals negative 6. Remember, the whole concept of elimination is get one variable the same in both equations where one's positive and one's negative. So there's a 4z. I have a negative 4z in the other one. I'm just going to copy it down. Negative 5x minus 2y minus 4z equals 3. Now it just turns into a giant addition problem. My z's are going to go away. I'm left with 11x plus 4y is equal to negative 3. So that's my new equation. We'll call that guy equation 4. All right, so there's my one new equation. I need to make another one. I'm going to use equations 2 and 3 from the original. So 3x plus 3y plus 2z equals negative 3. Negative 2x plus 5y plus 3z equals 3. Now, looking at this, the big thing is the first set of these, it's easy because I can pick the simplest one to eliminate based off of what I have. I looked at it. I found that the z's were going to cancel out the easiest. All I had to do was multiply by a 2. So that makes it nice. Now, since I canceled out the z's here, I must cancel out the z's here. Okay? So if I want to cancel out the z's here, I got a 2 and a 3, so I'm going to have to multiply both equations. So let's multiply the first one by 3, and let's multiply the second one by a negative 2. That's going to give me a positive 6x and a negative 6x. So if I multiply the first equation by 3, I'm looking at 9x plus 9y plus 6z equals 9. The other very common mistake that people make, I did it right here, I didn't copy this down right, but the other common mistake I see is they multiply by everything on the left side. They multiply their x, y, and z terms by the number and forget to multiply the right side. So if I were to leave this as a negative 3 on the right side, it's going to mess everything up. So just be careful about that. Second equation then, so equation 3, I'm going to multiply it by negative 2. That's going to give me a 4x minus 10y minus 6z equals negative 6. Okay, z's cancel, adding straight down. So I'm looking at 13x minus y equals negative 15. All right, so this is my equation 5 now. It's my second new equation of 2 equations, 2 variables. So now I have a set of these guys. I'm feeling pretty good because I have this guy and this guy. I can solve those. Now looking at this, let's just keep going with elimination. This guy has a 4y. This guy is a negative y. So I can multiply this guy by a negative 4, and that's going to help me cancel out my y's. So I have 11x plus 4y equals negative 3. And that's just equation 4. Now equation 5 over here, let's multiply it by 4. So that's going to give me 52x minus 4y equals negative 60. Okay, straight down, y's are gone. So I'm looking at 63x equals negative 63. Therefore, x is going to be negative 1. Got my first variable. All right, it takes a while to get that first variable, but after you get that first one, then you're feeling pretty good about life. I'm going to take this, plug it back into one of the two variable equations. So let's just go with 4. So I'm going to take equation 4 is 11 times negative 1 plus 4y equals negative 3. So we're looking at negative 11 plus 4y equals negative 3. Add the 11 over. So 4y equals 8. Divide both sides by 4. Y is going to be 2. All right, so I got 2 out of 3. I'm on the home stretch now, so I can just take that x term and that y term and plug it into one of the originals. Looking at the originals, let's roll with equation 2. It seems to have the least amount of negative signs and the smallest numbers. So I'm going to take equation 2 here. I have 3 times my x term, which is negative 1, plus 3 times my y term, which is 2, plus 2z equals negative 3. This is going to be negative 3 plus 6 plus 2z. Negative 3 and positive 6 is going to be positive 3. I take a positive 3 over by subtracting. So I'm looking at 2z equals negative 6. Z is going to be negative 3. Done. If you would want to check it, you could plug it back in. You'd have to check with each one of the equations, but that's a really long process, and we're not going to do it. In your homework or in your assignment, I am going to give you the answers so you can check yourself. Obviously, if I give you the answers, then I'm going to need to see your work to give you credit for the assignment. All right, any questions on that problem, guys? Feeling all right on that? All right.
Yep, I'm good.
All right. Now, this one here was fully involved. We had to multiply here, we had to multiply here. Some of them are going to be a little easier. You'll see in the next one's a little easier, but I want to do the full process of one. The biggest tips I'm going to give you guys is be neat, okay? Be neat and take your time because especially in here, so say I'm multiplying equation 3 by -2, well then I get 4x, I forgot the negative, so 4x plus 10y is negative z. Well, then all of a sudden everything's thrown off. One little negative sign or one little number that you add or subtract wrong is going to mess everything up. And really, like this is kind of an involved problem. All right, it's a long series, but I'm going to tell you right now, 3 things happen. 1, we don't write it down right. 2, we forget to multiply the right side. Or 3, we can't add or subtract. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to say 95% of the problems, if someone gets it wrong, it's one of those 3 things, guaranteed. So just be neat. Take your time. When you start flying through these are when you're going to get the numbers that are just off the wall. All right, let's look at another one here. So this guy here, look at x plus 4y minus z equals 20, and 3x plus 20 plus z equals 8. And then finally, 2x minus 3y plus 2z equals negative 16. All right, so let's do the same process we did as before. Set them up. Let's find 2 equations, 2 variables, solve that guy, and then plug new stuff back in the original. So let's take 1 and 2. So 1, 2, 1, x plus 4y minus z equals 20. 2 is going to be 3x plus 2y plus z equals 8. And these are the ones that are really, really nice because, I mean, look at that already. Bam. Z's gone. All right. I didn't even have to multiply. These are the ones I like. These are the ones that get the process rolling really quick. So 4x plus 6y. Z's are gone. It's going to be equal to 28. All right. First one down. Now let's take equations 2 and 3. 2 and 3. So x plus 4y minus z equals 20. And 2x minus 3y plus 2z equals negative 16. All right, I eliminated z in the first one, giving me an equation with x and y. So in this one, I have to do the same thing. To eliminate z, I think I can just multiply this first one by 2. If I multiply the first one by 2, I'm looking at 2x plus 8y minus 2z equals 40. Wait a second, I messed something up. Hold your horses, hold your horses. I wrote down 1 and yep. Oh, yeah, that's not good. See, I told you, biggest mistake, so you can't write the problems down right. Oh, jeez. All right, so this is 3. This is 2. Let's try this again. 3x plus 2y plus z equals 8. That looks a little better. Now, I just got to multiply by negative 2 to get rid of the z's. All right, now I'm feeling a little better. So let's multiply the first one. I have negative 6x minus 4y minus 2z is equal to negative 16. All right, so then I can add these two together. I'm just going to add them right from here. I'm not going to copy 3 down again. Z's are gone. Straight down, I got negative 4x minus 7y equals negative 32. Okay, now I have, right here's 4, right here's 5. Now this one's really, really nice for me too, because if I look at this, I got a 4x and 4. I got a negative 4x and 5. Man, I like them when they come out like this. It's negative 4x minus 7y equals negative 32. Those guys are going to be gone. They're going to cancel out, leave me with negative y equals negative 4. So y is going to be positive 4. First equation done. First variable done. So let's plug that back into one of the equations, 4 or 5. Let's put in 4 because there's no negative signs. So I have 4x plus 6 times 4 equals 28. So 4x plus, this would be 24 equals 28. Subtract the 24 over, so 4x equals 4. X equals 1. Boom. 2 down, 1 to go. Let's plug it back into one of the originals. I'm just going to plug it into number 1. Doesn't look too bad. So 1 plus 4 times y is 4, minus z equals 20. All right, so I have 1 and 16, which is going to be 17, minus z equals 20. Subtract the 17 over, so I'm going to have z equals 3, which means z is going to be negative 3. Boom. There we go. Questions? All right, last one for the day. So what happens if I'm missing a variable somewhere along the way? Okay. Now, if I am missing a term in an equation, so looking here at example 3, I do not have an x term in the first equation. I got y and z, this one x, y, z, x, y, z. So I'm missing an x. So if you're missing a term in an equation, you only need to make one other equation of 2 variables. Make sure to eliminate the same variable as the one missing in the other equation. So here, this is in 2 variables, but x is gone. Okay, so if x is gone there, I need to eliminate x in my other 2 sets of 3. So this one here, I can really just skip 1 and 2 to get 4. I'm just going to just go right to 2 and 3 to get 5. All right, so let's dive right in. It's x plus 2y plus z equals 17. 2x minus 3y plus 2z equals negative 1. All right, so I have x gone in this equation over here, so I need to get rid of x in this set. Again, I just took 2 and 3. So if I want to eliminate x, I got an x and a 2x. Let's multiply the first one by negative 2. That's going to give me negative 2x minus 4y minus 2z equals negative 34. Okay, straight down, gone, negative 7y. And actually, my z's cancel out too, which makes this even better yet. It's going to give me negative 7 equals negative 35. So y is going to be 5. Boom, 1 done. Now I'm going to look back to my other set of 2 equations, 2 variables. Well, this would just be my first equation now. 2 times 5 minus z equals 7. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract the 10 over, so I have z equals negative 3. So z equals positive 3. Take that, plug it back into one of the originals. I have y is 5, I have z is 3. I could put this in 1, or I could put it anywhere else. Let's just put it in 2. So I don't know x. I guess I can't put it in 1 because I need the x. So x plus 2 times y, which is 5, plus z, which is 3. That's going to be 17. All right, I'm going to have 10 plus 3, which is be 13. Subtract the 13 over. X is going to be 4. Boom. Questions on that, guys? All right.